Welcome, old school motorcycle fans. Today is kind of special time as I present you with this wonderful first generation Kawasaki ZX9. Why is this so special, some of you might think? Well, quite simply because this is a brilliant bike that got off the radar a while ago, and trust me, it really is worth considering. What you're looking at is the former ZX9R Ninja B1. Those hit the market in 1994, representing Kawasaki's sharpest weaponry against contemporary competition. Superseding the ZX-R 750L, the ZX9R offered more displacement, more torque, and of course more power. Early 90s were entirely dominated by Honda in superbike contest. This reign in track-oriented performance wars was obviously down to iconic CBR 900RR. The 1992 blade was so light, nimble and refined that somewhat obsolete ZX-R 750 stayed miles behind. Strangely, Kawasaki's recipe for the new killer product was not to make it ultra-light. In fact, the ZX9 appeared heavy for its kind. Fueled and ready to go, curb weight reached 240 kilos. Compared to Fireblade's 210 kilos, it was sumo level of weight. Let's not forget though that not only Honda competed against the Ninja. Suzuki's RF900 and Yamaha's FZR1000 were rather large and heavy motorcycles too, hovering at a region of 235 kilos ready to go. So I guess Kawasaki wasn't particularly heavy here, it was just Honda being so insanely light. So if weight reduction wasn't the secret to beat the opponents, what was it then? Folks, I think we can all agree by now that Kawasaki have always been known for making engines with highest power outputs. It's been the case in the 80s, 90s, and it is the case today. Pound for pound, their engines always have the edge over the competition when it comes to peak power output. If just power plant was to be considered, the 94 model of ZX9 and its 139 horsepower destroys the Blade, which offered mere 124 ponies. Although FZR1000 matched the peak output of the Ninja, it needed extra 100cc of displacement to get there. RF900 places somewhere in the middle, with its 130 horsepower. Those of course are just the numbers, so how does this motor work? Well, in my humble opinion, it works simply great and is the best part of this motorcycle. Comparing it fairly to RF900, I must admit though that Quack loses in bottom end and mid-range power. Perhaps extra 38cc of displacement in RF's motor give it a bit more torque, but in top end department, Ninja has the edge. This engine likes to rev, and the higher it spins, the happier it is. Over 8,000 RPM, this bike is angry and pulls so hard. Exhaust note is also glorious and so addicting. Again, the higher it revs, the better it sounds. Kawasaki's RAM air system further compounds the audio experience. In terms of tech, there isn't really anything hugely spectacular here. Its 899cc liquid-cooled 16-valve dual overhead camshaft motor is powered by 40mm Keihin carbs. It's got 6-speed gearbox and a slipper clutch, which could be regarded the only extraordinary feature in this package. One wonderful trait of this motor is that setting the valve clearances does not require removal of the camshafts. Simply push the rockers to the side and swap the shims. Glorious! I think this bike looks gorgeous. Its old-school design really appeals to so many riders and brings back good memories. Paint skin is so 90s and so freaking cool, what's not to love about that? Fit and finish is generally okay. Bike is equipped with upside down forks, which gives premium feel. Alloy frame and hydraulic clutch are features not all bikes could brag about at that time. Plastic infill panels are smooth and a little shiny, which really gives good first impressions. So all in all, this sounds like we have the best bike on earth, have we? Some flaws are little, others are major. Here's a little list starting from heavy hitters. Sadly, head gasket failures are not that uncommon, so make sure the coolant system is top-notch. Engine knocking sounds caused by worn cam chain or its tensioner needing a reset is a fairly common thing. High mileage bikes might need alternators chain adjustment, which requires a complete clutch basket disassembly. Not a pleasant thing to do. To remove front seat, you need to disassemble the rear one first. What a ridiculous design! To lift the tank, the fuel taps knob needs to come off first. How silly! Paint on wheels likes to chip, and lower chain slide often breaks, ending flapping around and making noises. Either way, nothing that couldn't be dealt with, so don't get too discouraged. Is it worth your time and money? Hell yes, absolutely! First generation of ZX9 is a sweet ride, but go for mint and low miles survivors. Cleaned and well looked after bike will be a hoot to ride and a joy to own. Neglected examples are nothing but corrosion, leaks and electrical gremlins, so please keep that in mind. You see, with this type of machine it's better to pay more and have fun than to pay little and then cry all day long. On the road it feels more potent than you'll ever need. Yes, it is heavy, but that gives stability. Yes, it's somewhat uncomfy, but then which sports bike isn't? Brakes are adequate for its motor, suspension offers some adjustability, wind protection is okay, and if pushed, you can even carry a pillion. Spares market is fairly good and you can find all the parts you'll ever need on eBay. Certainly a bike you can live with. To sum up, if you see a good one nearby, give it a shot. You won't be disappointed. Thanks for watching. Till next time.